Dana White is on the verge of ruining the UFC. Over the last couple years, it's been pretty obvious he's cared less and less about the UFC. You can easily see that through the promotion or matchmaking. But him doing these next two steps could easily destroy the sport and any legitimacy it may still have left. Just watch this clip and I'm going to explain to you exactly why it'd be terrible for the UFC to do this.
Sitting here, if you had to put your money on it, what do you think is the headliner of UFC 317?
If I had to put my money on it, I think they convinced Tom Aspinall to fight Cyril Gane.
Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane. I'll continue.
Okay,
I think if I had to put my money on it, I think that's the one that's being this far out. Like we're a couple weeks away.
It's 2 months.
Yeah, we're 2 months out, and I think that they'll throw a number. Like Tom wants to fight, and he'll be like, "All right, I'll fight." And I think they'll throw a number at Cyril Gane. It won't be ideal for him, but they'll throw a number that he can't refuse, and he'll have to take it. And
not only is Cyril Gane getting another undeserved title shot, which Dana told Volkov he'd make everything right by him. Don't know what's going to happen with that, but now they're going to try to get Tom Aspinall to defend his interim belt again for the second time. Who in UFC history has ever defended their interim belt twice?
I think it makes more sense that way.
And
Makes sense.
I mean,
Okay.
it could be if Jon Jones just needs a little more convincing. Like Tom Aspinall hasn't headlined a UFC pay-per-view yet. He's been co-main event and like his 2 fights there. You put him in that international fight week spot. He goes out there, maybe he beats Cyril in a more devastating fashion than Jon did, and then you get the mic saying, I just headlined the biggest card of the year, international fight week, beat the guy's ass who, better than you did. Come fight me.
Well, and that too. Jon is a chess player. Yeah.
So Jon wants Tom Aspinall to fight another interim title fight just so he can legitimize Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is already cemented in the heavyweight division. He's beat the best heavyweights. Volkov, everyone other than Gane that's an elite heavyweight. Well, I guess you could say Almeida too. He's beaten Volkov, Pavlovich, Blades. I mean, he's run through these guys. He's as legit as any contender in the heavyweight division. Way more legit than Gane. Way more legit than Stipe. You shouldn't need more reasons to fight him. He is an interim champion with one title defense. If you want to sit out and wait, just vacate the title and fight him after the Gane fight. Like, you don't need to hold up the division for any reason. Just vacate the title, and when you're ready to fight, then fight. But stop holding up the division just so you can... I don't even know what your plan is. Look, I love Jon Jones as much as the next guy. I just watched him fight in November. So, I'm not a Jon Jones hater at all. I'm a huge Jon Jones fan, but at this point, it is getting ridiculous. He does not need to hold up the division just so he can study Cyril Gane more. That's unheard of. He does not need to hold up the division just so he can study Tom Aspinall more.
I think about this. He's a very intellectual chess player. And he's trying to collect as much information on Tom Aspinall as possible.
Exactly.
We haven't really seen him in a lot of tough spots. We don't know how he's going to respond to that. And I think Jon is probably waiting on that. And that's probably what Jon is looking for with Tom Aspinall. Give him a couple more fights, man. I want some more information before I say yes to this.
Give Tom a couple more fights before he can fight Jones. Jones is going to be 40 by then, dude. But yes, you heard right. This is like an actual thing, too. You can see it here on Chael Sonnen in DC talking about it. Chael said it's a done deal. Chael's word is as good as shit. I mean, he just constantly lies about stuff. I don't know where he gets his information from. But regardless, the fact that this is even a possibility is insane. This should not even be a thought in Dana's head or Hunter Campbell or whoever's making the fight. This is a terrible idea. When you do stuff like this, you make the belts illegitimate. You turn the UFC into boxing, which is why the sport of boxing is dying. People are tired of the illegitimacy, all the politics. They just want to see the number one guy be crowned. They don't want to see 20 belt holders. They just want to see one top dog. They don't want to see 7 champions in a weight class. They don't want to see the champs not fight the best guys. That's why people like UFC. They fight the best guys, or so we thought. But now you got Jon Jones stalling this fight longer and longer and just holding up the division. And then if he does leave, the heavyweight division's dead. We'll never know if Tom's a legitimate champion. We'll never know if he's a first or second place champion. And the division has no more super fights left. The only big fight you could do at that point is Aspinall versus Gane. And even then, that's not a big fight. That division dies the second Jon Jones leaves. He's the last star in there. And if we don't get this fight, the heavyweight division is going to be the worst division in UFC history, probably. At this point in time, the heavyweight division has almost zero technique. Dana White's cutting Rosenstrike, who is one of the better prospects, which is sad to say, but still. You know, Tai Tuivasa's on a losing streak. Derek Lewis isn't going to be champ. We have nothing in this division right now. Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones is the last thing we could have. And John's screwing around. He's not getting any younger the more he waits. Yeah, he's a chess player. But, like, bro, at the end of the day, he is the belt holder. He needs to defend his belt. And if he doesn't want to, he needs to vacate it. Simple as. One defense was enough. You know, I was okay with a Stipe fight because it was the original plan. But that was even a stretch. But now we're really, really stretching it, John. Pause. And it's getting out of hand. You got to make up your mind. Either schedule a fight with Tom or vacate the belt. And if you still want to fight Tom after Tom fight's gone, then come back and fight him for the belt. But until then, vacate that. You just achieved the longest reign as a heavyweight champion. And you've only had 2 fights at heavyweight. It's absolutely pathetic, bro. And speaking of terrible matchmaking, look at this other thing going around.
I honestly believe that's who's going to fight for the belt.
Who?
I believe it's going to be Gaethje. Yeah.
Gaethje lost 2 fights ago, though.
That's right. Gaethje lost 2 fights ago. Why would he get a title fight?
Gaethje lost. Yeah. I think it's going to be Gaethje. I think that's
He didn't say why. He just said, yeah, I think it's going to be Gaethje.
if I'm Team Makhachev, I'm asking for Justin Gaethje because that's a big name fight. It's the guy that carries a lot of name recognition.
It's the easiest fight. It has zero risk behind it like the Ilia Topuria fight does. The Justin Gaethje fight is a freebie. Everyone knows how it's going to go. It's a terrible fight. There's going to be no build-up. And Justin Gaethje doesn't even have a puncher's chance. Bro.
I think that's going to be the fight. If I'm being honest with you,
Listen to Gaethje himself talk about it.
I'm ready to fight in June. I don't know. I think Makhachev said he wants to fight in June. I'm hoping that I get that call sooner rather than later so I can, I'm obviously working, but, yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy ride. I'm not at the beginning of the journey anymore. It's towards the end. I'm 4-1 in my last 5 fights, only losing to Max Holloway. So, yeah, I think I should, we got Oliveira already lost. Sorokin really fucked it up. I don't think they're gonna want to give it to him. And then Topuria, I think I can see him giving it to Topuria. So, we'll see what they do. But ultimately, I let my coaches and manager make the choice on who I'm going to fight. I'm hoping it's Makhachev.
You're right. It would make sense if they made the Ilia Topuria fight. He says the Max Holloway fight was an exhibition. Dude, you took the fight regardless. It doesn't matter what it was. Was it Dustin Poirier fight an exhibition too because it's BMF, or did you count that one? Do you pick and choose which one's an exhibition or not? And then you could go on top of that. You could say, yeah, well, he didn't need to take that fight. Okay, but he did. And Max Holloway, who's in the lightweight division, knocked him out. So why would we give Gaethje a shot over Holloway when he just got slept by Holloway? And then on top of that, why are you going to give him the shot over someone who slept Holloway in Topuria? Topuria obviously deserves a title shot. And I don't care what sleazeball Ali Abdulaziz says. He just wants his 2 fighters fighting for a belt. This fight has no hype. It's an absolute freebie. It does nothing for anyone. It's the build-up's not even going to be fun, bro. We already know the outcome. It's Gaethje literally got inverted triangled by Rafael Fiziev in round 1. What do you think Makhachev's going to do to him, bro? Makhachev's going to put this fool in like a freaking surfboard. Straight up. This is a terrible fight, and it's going to destroy the sport. This sport is about the best fighting the best, not the most popular fighting the most popular. This isn't a popularity contest. It is a sport, and we want to see the top-level competition. We're tired of seeing these freebies just based off name value. Yeah, sometimes name value can help build hype, but in this case, it doesn't even matter. Everyone knows the outcome of this fight. The name value does nothing. Justin Gaethje just got slept cold. I don't care if he says it was an exhibition fight or not. It's still on his record. He still took the fight. I'm sure he got paid pretty well. And like I said, if that fight doesn't count, why should the Poirier fight count? They're both for the BMF belts. Like, it's not consistent at all. Again, Max Holloway is in the lightweight division, and he just slept you. So why shouldn't he be getting a title shot? He didn't get slept at lightweight. Going back down to featherweight, that was just an exhibition fight. You can't just say it was an exhibition fight. It counts. And I love Gaethje. Gaethje's a fun fighter, but it'd be such a waste of a title defense for Islam to fight Gaethje. No one wants to see it. The only person that does is Ali Abdelaziz, Justin Gaethje, and Islam Makhachev. Everyone else wants to see Ilia Topuria. It's literally going to be like the Volk fight, if not a little more intriguing, because he's a bigger threat than Volk. Listen to Islam Makhachev's coach now, too. This is even worse than the Gaethje fight proposal.
Do you think Paddy deserves a title shot, or he's not ready to face somebody like Islam? Paddy's ready to face anybody. I mean, what he's done already, his credentials, his winning record in the UFC, and his hype, and what he can do, how he can motivate people. If they give him the next title shot, he deserves it because they gave it to him. So whoever they give it to him, they give. And let's see who they give him to. Who gets into the arena with him next? I don't know, but is he worthy? Yes.
And he's interesting, as you said.
He's very interesting, and he's got a whole England behind him, and a lot of America to be behind him. Most of America will.
Yeah.
He has a lot of fans. And I'm a fan. I wasn't a big fan at the beginning. I was not. When he fought Jared Gordon, I was like, but I've become a huge fan.
Dude, cut the shit. Please just cut the shit right now. Paddy Pimblett is nowhere near a title shot. And this is how Makhachev's coach thinks he deserves it. What on earth is happening right now? He beat Michael Chandler, who's on a 3 or 4 fight loss streak. Bobby Green, who's on a loss streak. Tony Ferguson, who he took to a decision. Right? Took Tony to a decision, right? Before that, he robbed Jared Gordon. You think it would be a good idea to give him a title shot already? His best win is that he washed Michael Chandler. I actually like Michael Chandler a lot. He's also one of my favorite fighters. But why would he get a title shot over someone like Oliveira who beat a better version of Chandler? Yeah, he looked better, but you got to understand how fighters declining works. They're going to look worse and worse with each performance. Like, obviously, 2 fights ago, Chandler's going to look better than his most recent fight. That's how becoming washed goes. He's 38 or some shit. I'll tell you what needs to happen just to clear everything up. Paddy needs to fight Gaethje. Ilia needs to fight Islam. Arman needs to rematch Oliveira, and we're safe. That's what you do. Or Paddy and Arman, you could do that. Gaethje and Hooker, that's a good fight. Rebook that one. Ilia and Topuria, and Oliveira and Max Holloway if Max Holloway wins against Dustin Poirier, which I could go into that fight too. Like, why are we giving Max the trilogy fight? We could have seen the Gaethje fight at least where they're 1-1. Max is 0-2 against Poirier. I think this time, to be honest, he could win just because Poirier is older and Max is better than ever at lightweight, but why are we doing it? It's such a pointless fight. We could have seen a trilogy settled. We could have seen, who knows, Conor McGregor fight Poirier, and if he doesn't come back, then you do the Gaethje trilogy. And if that doesn't work out for whatever reason, bring like Nate Diaz back or something, bro. But Max Holloway, it's good. It's going to be a fun fight, but come on. But you saw it there. We live in a reality where Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall has a good chance of being made. And if they don't strip John after they make that fight, bro, the UFC is ruined. The UFC is just absolutely ruined. They just don't care about the integrity of the sport anymore. Same thing if they do Islam versus Gaethje or Islam versus Paddy for whatever reason. Paddy Pimblett, bro. What the f? The UFC needs to straighten up. They cannot play these games anymore. We need to see Jon versus Tom and Makhachev versus Topuria. Those are the 2 fights to make. They're 2 of the biggest fights in UFC history. Hell, throw them on the same card, but please do not trip and put any other fight together because it just destroys the integrity of the sport and it turns it into boxing. It just makes it a circus show. So Dana White really cannot mess this up. I'm asking you don't mess this up and destroy the UFC. But that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.